Timothé Chalamet is thinking ahead. Fresh off proving his song and dance chops with Wonka, the 28-year-old global superstar is ready to show the world what Paul Atreides can really do in the highly anticipated second part of the Dune epic. But his eyes are also on the horizon. Chalamet, clad in all black, shows up to Entertainment Weekly's cover shoot for Dune, Part 2 at a Beverly Hills hotel with Bluetooth speaker in hand, blasting Bob Dylan's album Blonde on Blonde. The actor is set to play the iconic Minnesota musician in an upcoming biopic, and it won't be the first time Chalamet has tackled a character with messianic ambitions. Paul Atreides, after all, is the only man in the Dune universe with the ability to see forward and backward in time. That makes him the Kwisatz Haderach, a messiah figure long prophesied by the female-only mystic order known as the Bene Gesserit, and is perhaps uniquely capable of avenging his family's destruction in the first Dune film. Paul isn't alone in this fight, but he doesn't yet know all of his enemies. Flanking Chalamet at the early February cover shoot are Zendaya, returning from the first film as the Freeman warrior Chani, Florence Pugh, making her debut as Princess Irulan, heir to the throne of the universe, and Austin Butler, playing Paul's opposite, the Dark Prince Phaedratha. These four young stars feel like the future, not just of this franchise, but blockbuster cinema itself. They're superpower actors, Chalamet says of his co-stars. They know instinctively how to exist in a movie of this size and really bring a strong presence, while also keeping the naturalism alive and believable. That's something I feel like I achieved more on this one, where on the first one it was a new skill set for me. The Prophet. Paul grows a lot over the course of the first Dune. Torn away from his homeworld, this privileged son of the noble House Atreides watched as his family was exterminated by their longtime enemies, House Harkonnen, in a power play for control of the valuable spice melange. He then learns the hard way how to fend for himself in the hostile environment of the desert planet Arrakis, while also reckoning with his strange, spice-induced visions of a bloody future to come. Villeneuve recruited linguist David J. Peterson, who worked on Game of Thrones' Dothraki language, to fully develop Chicopsa. Dune novelist Frank Herbert described this dialect in his books, but didn't index it as fully as, say, J.R. Tolkien did with Elvish. So Peterson crafted a vocabulary and pronunciations that could actually be used by actors including Chalamet, Zendaya, and Javier Bardem, who returns as the Freeman leader Stilgar. The Warrior. For all its pervasive influence throughout pop culture, Dune is still a product of the 60s. In particular, Herbert's treatment of female characters, such as Chani and Paul's mother Lady Jessica, Rebecca Ferguson, feels more than a little retrograde today. Villeneuve wanted to adjust that while staying true to the author's vision. The Princess. Princess Irulan guides readers through the novel Dune. Every chapter begins with a quote from her future histories of the book's events. This role as narrator was superseded by Chani in the first film, but now the princess has arrived. Before anyone complains about her amount of screen time in Part 2, Villeneuve is quick to guarantee that he has big plans for her in potential future films.